Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem, exclusively on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. We're not going to waste too much time here, guys, so we're just going to kick it right off here, and we're going to start it off with AEW, as we started off with a little bit of a, I guess you could say it was a little bit of a lead into the show, and then we started off with the first fight of the night. As you know, we started with Jake Roberts, just cutting a promo. Then we had Lance Archer as he went up against Alan Angel, one-on-one, and Lance Archer won the match in a minute and 39 seconds. All right, fine. It is what it is. I'm not even gonna waste too much of a time here. Then we had a women's match, and it was Hikaru Shida going one-on-one with Dr. Britt Baker. When it was all said and done, Hikaru Shida wins the match in 16 minutes and 20 seconds. And, well, I gotta say, this was a very good match. Definitely one of the top fights of the evening. And Shida continues her hot streak. Maybe now looks even more and more better to be possibly the next contender for Nyla Rose's AEW Women's World Title. And for Dr. Britt, another heartbreaking loss. But it looked like there was a little bit of controversy towards the end of the fight. But it was solid. 3 stars for me, 3 to 3.5. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, this was a Tony special right here. Because you know how much I love both of these young ladies. You know how much I do. Britt Baker, obviously, for her beauty. And, of course, Hikaru Shida, not only for her beauty, but also for her outstanding wrestling ability. And you can make an argument that this is definitely a fight of the night contender here. No question about it. I'm going to give it 3 3/4 stars. This was one of the better women's matches in AEW in recent memory. I mean, great action throughout. I mean, some great near falls. And how about Tony Schiavone and Chris Jericho on commentary? Was that freaking awesome, or was that freaking awesome? I mean, Le Champion put over Dr. Britt at every turn while making several references to old school wrestlers a lot of younger fans probably have to Google. But Dr. Britt handed up once she started bleeding and used the situation to make herself look tough. It worked. She looked more dangerous as a heel than ever before. Shida is one of the best AEW has in any women's division. She shined in this bout and looked like somebody who has a real chance at beating Nyla Rose down the line for the AEW Women's Championship. This was a very good outing from both ladies, no doubt about it. You can make an argument. You can easily make an argument for fight of the night here, no doubt about it. I'm giving it 3 3/4 star. Fantastic. And it ranks up there as one of the best AEW women's matches in history. So there's nothing more to say. I'm happy. Michael Bullock. I know there have been many times we've poo-pooed on the women's division of AEW, but I think this is one time they more than deserve a pass here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially after what we saw tonight. I agree. I'll give it about 3 3/4 star. I mean, this was a really good match here. I mean, both women, I thought looked really good. And Shida, I think, is really proving her point why she deserves a chance to become the AEW Women's World Champion. And, yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. So let's move right along, Fletch.
All right, then we had Excalibur, as they were conducting something between Jon Moxley and Jake Hager. So, it looks like it might be Hager and Moxley as the next two to battle it out. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Then we had, okay, this was very interesting. Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa, my man, Michael Nakazawa, going up against the best friends, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, Chucky T. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 16 minutes and 24 seconds, the best friends. That's right. Chucky T and Trent gets the victory. And Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Here's another fight of the night contender right here. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, Omega wore, if you noticed, Kenny Omega wore his AAA Mega Campeon title to the ring, but his AEW tag belt was nowhere to be seen. It was a strange decision to wear another company's title without bringing the one for the show this match was on. Nakazawa is an odd character because AEW doesn't seem to know how to use him properly. He is a comedy act who is closely associated with one of the top stars in the company, so it comes across as a strange pairing, even though they have a long history dating back to their time as a team in Japan.
Yep.
Now, I misspoke on my rating. This is actually a solid 3-star match. The reason being is it was a fun match, but it was not as good as it could have been. At times, comedy seemed to be a bigger priority than competitiveness. If you like comedic wrestling, like good old MF Michael Fletcher does, you will enjoy this contest. If you don't, like me, then you won't. It's that simple. So I'll give him credit for the effort. I mean, it was a solid effort, but that's all there is to say on that. So at least MF had a moment here. I mean, I had my moment with Sheeta and Dr. Britt. That made me very happy. And then you had to suck that happiness out by bringing this guy out, which makes MF very happy because I know how much MF loves the Nakazawa stuff. So, and yes, I found some videos of that earlier, and they were funny. So that's all I can say on that. So I'm giving this a solid 3 for the effort. Not as good as it could have been. So really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, what did you make of this odd tag team matchup?
It was odd, but I still thought it was a good passable match. I mean, I'm not gonna be as tough as you or Florio, so I'm actually gonna give it 3.5 stars. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, some of the things were strange, but you know what? I still thought the action was good enough for it to be, for me anyway, to give it the rating that it deserved. So, I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, Florio, I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, just like I am, just like Fletch is, and if Dee Dee Woodson was on, so that it would be the same case with her. So 3.5 stars for me. So MF, as I give it to you, just for good old time's sake, I want to hear you pronounce his name.
I'm just gonna do it in the way of Nick Jackson. Michael Nakazawa. That's all I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it the other way. I'm not doing it the Justin Roberts way. I know you guys want me to do it, but I wanna. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It was an odd pairing, no doubt about it. I'm gonna kind of meet you guys in the middle. I'm gonna give it 3.25 stars. I think that's the best rating for the match. Was it a runaway amazingness? No, absolutely not. You could even say for the best friends, getting a win over one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions will actually help them possibly get an opportunity down the line at an AEW World Tag Team title match, which is actually really good. For Michael Nakazawa to get just opportunity to fight in AEW on AEW Dynamite is better than him fighting on Dark. So, because his name is out there, he is a big name in Japan because of the fact that he fought in All Japan Pro Wrestling. He's fought a little bit in New Japan, but more All Japan Pro Wrestling Noah. If you've seen any of his matches, he is a little bit of a goofball. There is no doubt about it. He does kind of remind me of Toriano of Chaos. He is the funny film director for the crew that was led at the time by Shinsuke Nakamura. Now is Kurushika Okada, the Rainmaker. He's the leader of Chaos. So kind of a comedy skit, anything like that. Now, if Nakazawa and Toriano would have gotten together, oh my God, the laugh riot would have been on, and I would have had you guys would have had to hold me back. You might have gotten the MF whooping laugh, the laugh that Florio loves so much. If you never heard me do the laugh, please don't get me started. Please don't try to push me there because that laugh is I guess somewhat iconic. I don't know. It happens once in a rare while. So yeah. So let's move on. Next thing we had, unfortunately, another squash match. Brody Lee, the Exalted One, going up against Lee Johnson. Brody Lee wins the match in 1 minute and 43 seconds. All right, fine, whatever. Blah. Nothing more to add. Then we finally got into something relevant. The first match of the AEW TNT title tournament. That's right, the tournament has begun, and it was Shawn Spears going one-on-one against the American Nightmare Cody. When it was all said and done, the winner of the match in 21 minutes, 38 seconds, the American Nightmare Cody advances to the next round of the tournament. Michael Bullock, woo-wee, what a match.
Yeah, what a match indeed. So much so, I'm going to call this my fight of the night here. I'm going to give this, excuse me, I'm going to give it 4 to maybe 4.25 stars. I mean, great work by both men. This was the kind of match that all three of us here would enjoy, and I definitely enjoyed it. Spears really gave Cody a run for his money, and yeah, I mean, this is certainly a really good way to start off the TNT Championship tournament. So I mean, if this was a really good way to start it, I can only imagine what the other matches might bring. I mean, all I can say is good luck to the rest of those first round matches because I'm sure they're going to have a tough time trying to top what we saw here. So I enjoyed it. The action was really good, and yeah, there's nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I got to give it up. This was an unbelievable match, to say the very least. I'm gonna go 4.25. You could even say teen around 4.5, but 4.25 is the rating, and this was an amazing main event for the evening for AEW. Man, we had some really good, solid matches throughout, but this one was, man, that was a class. That was a master class. What we saw. It made both men look really good. Shawn Spears, I mean, he is definitely shedded the perfect 10 gimmick from WWE days and has carved that up and shredded it. And Cody is just getting better and better by the weeks, and he is really turning himself into a megastar in AEW. This was an unbelievable match. Unbelievable battle, and Cody advances. Tough luck loss for Shawn Spears, but what a battle. I mean, you cannot say anything better than that. I know, Anthony Florio, you are the technical wrestling guy. You must have been in like a master class, and you were just taking notes the whole way through.
You know me so well, MF. That's all there is to say on that. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. Absolutely spot on with the rating. These two have known each other for many years, and their familiarity led to some great chemistry. Everything they did was smooth and precise. This was a great way to end what was a somewhat uneven show. But no, I take that back. A great way to end what was a very good AEW show. Spears and Cody are two of the few people with a long-standing feud in AEW that began in this promotion. Chris Jericho and Tony Schiavone made the match even more enjoyable with their insightful commentary. The only issue was how many weapons came into play in a regular match. This is one of the issues AEW has been dealing with since it debuted. If they wanted this to be a no disqualification match, they should have booked it that way. Other than that nitpick, this was a very good main event. 4.25, 4.5 stars. Great way to cap off a very good AEW this evening. And that will come into play in my overall rating. It's going to be up there. No doubt about it. So, MF, let's get to that overall thought.
All right, final thought about the show. Was a solid show, but like Anthony, you even said it was a very uneven show. 2 squash fights. There was some filler along the way. It does harp to Jake Hager versus possibly Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title. That might be interesting. There was a great jump off to the TNT title tournament with Cody and Shawn Spears. And then you also got to talk about the big win for the Best Friends that maybe puts them in line, maybe down the line for an AEW World Tag Team title. And then Shida beating Dr. Britt Baker, Shida moving her way ever more closer to Nyla Rose and the AEW women's title match. So it was definitely a paint by numbers type show. It definitely looked a lot more better and it looks more solid. But as far as it being better than any of the other shows that they've done, unfortunately, I gotta say no. I thought this week was somewhat of a step backwards for AEW. Not much of a step backwards. If, normally we've been averaging out an 8 or something like that. If I was putting a rating on this, I got to give this at least a 7 tonight. I don't think it was good, but I've seen better from AEW. I'm sorry. I would give this a 7 out of 10. I don't think, maybe I'm underscoring it a little bit, but I think that's the best way I would call it. So, Anthony, your final thoughts on AEW?
You are correct, MF. You did underscore this. Only by a little bit. 8 out of 10 for me. I mean, I continue to be amazed at how AEW, with so much inexperience, has been able to overcome this empty arena handicap. The wrestlers, as the crowd, are doing a great job of doing the show. They are doing a great job with the promo packages to set up matches. As they enhance the matches, it's another positive of the show. Also, they fill out the show much better than in ring promos would, as they feel so unnatural in this setting. Lance Archer and Brody Lee got effective squashes to look dominant. Shida and Baker completely over-delivered. Best Friends versus Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa was a good and fun change-of-pace match. They hyped up Mox and Hager, and the main event delivered. This week's episode of AEW Dynamite was a great show. And oh, by the way, next week, that's when we're going to see. Well, here it is. We're going to have Lance Archer and Colt Cabana in the next TNT Championship Tournament bout. And we're also going to have, and it is official, Jon Moxley and Jake Hager will battle in an empty arena match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. We're getting an AEW World Title match on free television, gentlemen. So think about that one. So that's all there is to say on this. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. Slight disagreement with MF. So, all right, Bullock, who do you agree with? Do you agree with me, an 8 out of 10, or do you go with MF and a 7 out of 10, or do you have something different than that?
I'll go 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me on this. I mean, I thought it was a good show. I mean, with all what they're dealing with, but yeah, I mean, the 3 matches I thought were really good. Yeah, the 2 squash matches. I mean, it was there. Nothing else to say on that. So yeah, I thought it delivered. So I'm gonna give it 7.5 to 8 out of 10. So there's really nothing more to say. Let's get to NXT.
All right, guys. So we started it off with the women. This was the ladder match to determine the number one contender and who was going to fight for now Charlotte Flair's NXT Women's title. The competitors were Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox, Mia Yim, Chelsea Green, and Io Shirai. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 51 seconds, and now the number one contender for the NXT Women's title will be Io Shirai. Io Shirai wins the match. She pulls she pulls it off and wins the ladder match. Oh my goodness. Wow. Io Shirai gets the opportunity. I don't know if a lot of people would have expected her to be the winner, but maybe because of the fact that I think they called an audible after what happened at WrestleMania, even though now it feels like that probably was the mented outcome for Charlotte to win. Now there's been some rumors going around about what has happened. That first it was because, well, Rhea Ripley was sent back to Australia because her work visa had expired. Well, now it's being told is that no, Rhea is still in the United States. Yes, her visa is expiring, but it hasn't expired yet. But she is going to have to go back at some point back to Australia to get the paperwork and get it all legally done and everything else so that she can come back to the United States and to fight after that. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to decipher. First off, Io Shirai getting the opportunity is awesome. I cannot wait to see her get the shot at Charlotte Flair. I think that's going to be a very good match, no doubt about it. Do I think she's the most deserving of it all? Most likely not. I would have gone with either Tegan Knox or I would have gone with Mia Yim in this situation because I think they're more established. Even though I like Io, and I do, I love Io Shirai. But if you're going to give me either her, Tegan, or Mia, I would put either Mia or Tegan over Io. Just honestly. Obviously, if Rhea Ripley would have kept the belt, this would have been a shoe-in for Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai probably would have been the number one contender. She would have gone on. But because of the fact that Charlotte won the belt, and because they're booking Charlotte somewhat as a heel, it changes everything. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Do you have a rating for the match, MF?
3 stars.
More like 3.5 for me. 3.5 to 4. This was a fantastic opener. It felt like Money in the Bank came early, and everyone was happy to be a part of this story. Kai and Knox eliminated each other from the action. Chelsea Green needed Robert Stone to push her forward. Shirai and LeRae continued their brutal rivalry. Only Mia Yim felt left out, but she still had a good showing. It was a fun match with the right result. Charlotte versus Io Shirai, I believe, is the right match to start off the Queen's title reign. I think that's going to be a very unforgettable matchup. That has potential to be something really special. So I'm gonna give this 3.5 to 4. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5 to 4. 3.5, I'll say. But yeah, this was definitely a great way to kick it off. Yeah, I mean, a lot has definitely changed. I mean, especially after what we saw Sunday. I mean, if with Charlotte Flair now winning it, yeah, I mean, the options were for me anyway would have been either like Tegan Knox or Mia Yim, but I'm fine with Io Shirai as the the one that's going to be challenging Charlotte Flair. I mean, I think that could be a very good match. Uh, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say here. Congratulations to Io Shirai. So nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
All right. Then we had the in the Ender Sure. They were going up against Ever Rise, and when it was all said and done, it was Ender Sure, in the Shire. They win it. They beat Ever Rise in 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Yeah, this was a slow and lethargic squash match. Indusure should have won in a minute. Instead, the lifeless beatdown took a few minutes before mercifully ending. Everrise has not been able to do much so far as a tag team, mostly serving as enhancement talent. If they're not going to be established yet, there's no point in letting them even stick around in the debut of Indusure. I'm calling this a dud. I'm sorry. MF, go. Bullock, go.
Dud, move on.
All right. Well, then after that, there was a little bit of some other stuff. They were talking about. We had a couple of things. We had Adam Cole addressing Velveteen Dream. We had Charlotte Flair as they were doing an interview with her, at talking about her being the NXT Women's Champion. Of course, there was a brief little thing with Rhea Ripley, and then, boys, it got real. It was the fight, the war, the battle, the final battle, as it was the Black Heart against the Rebel Heart. The Black Heart of the Sicilian psychopath, Tommaso Ciampa, versus the Rebel Heart of Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. And boys, you wanted drama, you wanted a one hell of a battle. Let's just say they channeled their own WrestleMania with this one. Full cinematic break, full cinematic showdown, as it was one of the biggest fights we've ever seen. And boy, what an ending it got, as it was indeed the Rebel Heart getting the win thanks to some help from his wife. That's right, Candice LeRae got involved in the ending of the match, giving Johnny Gargano the win over Tommaso Ciampa. However, a very interesting development after the match. A pair of individuals, a couple in their own right, had a front row seat looking through their own window of a car. And actually, Derek Ferrero was able to confirm this. It was Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux. Could Johnny Wrestling and Killer Cross be possibly on a collision course? Could Candice LeRae and Scarlett Bordeaux be on a collision course? Oh my goodness. Michael Bullock, the voice of NXT, you got to do this one, my friend. What a match. What a battle.
Oh my gosh. What a match. What a battle indeed. We got it all in this match. The action was awesome. The drama. They battled everywhere. Inside the empty building. They battled outside. Even on the truck where it said the performance center. And then just as they got back, just as Tommaso Ciampa put that move, like using the crutch, Johnny Wrestling, let's just say, Fletch, he did something dirty to the referee.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he raked the eyes of Drake Works. Come on, Johnny Wrestling. What the hell are you doing, you idiot? I understand you're trying to get out of it, but you use the referee. I mean, it's bad enough that you go after him, but you had to rake the eyes, and then Champa basically accidentally took him out. So poor Drake Wirtz, he took a beating, and that's what led to everything that happened at the end of the match. And the biggest shocker was obviously Candice LeRae low blowing Tommaso Ciampa, allowing Gargano to get the victory. I guess we can say now, guys, Candice LeRae is now a heel.
Yep.
That fun-loving girl that everybody loves, that children look up to, she's gone. She's dead. She is reveling in the evilness of her husband, Johnny Gargano. And I'll tell you what, guys, with the two of them working together as a heel, I think it's going to be a living hell, not only for the men's side of NXT, but for the women of NXT. So as far as the match goes, man, oh man, I don't know if I could give it 5 stars. I mean, we've given it 5 for, I'll say, probably because of what we saw at the end. I'll probably give it 4.5 to 4 3/4 as far as I'm concerned. So nothing more to say. Fletch, like I said, that fun-loving Candice LeRae is gone and is replaced by hatred and evil.
Yeah, hatred and evil, and let me tell you, man, it's gonna get very, very, very interesting to see how this plays out. But one thing is for sure, this was an incredible fight. This was unbelievable. I don't think you can even top anything like it. You know, this was a WrestleMania-esque type fight, and this was an NXT takeover worthy match. That's how good this fight was. You could easily call for 5. You can easily call 5 on this. This is no doubt. Do I think it's a 5-star? Very possible. You could take a point, like a quarter point off for the cheating at the end. What Candice LeRae did to help Johnny win. But it does set a lot of parameters for what the next storylines are going to be. For Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, it looks like they might be in the crosshairs of Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux now. Or could Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux be looking at Ciampa? Are they a heel couple? You don't know. I guess the questions remain, and we'll wait and see. But one thing's for sure, Cross and Bordeaux is definitely going to be there sooner rather than later. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So there's really nothing more to add. There's really nothing more to say, and yeah. So we'll see what happens. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Who cares if there was cheating involved? Last time I checked, there were no rules in this match, correct?
From what I know, yeah, there was. I think this was just a location. From what I know, Triple H was just going to give him a location and basically just you guys fight until there's a winner. Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And so what if there was, chicanery here? When there's a match with no rules, there's always chicanery. So I don't give a damn. I'm pulling the trigger. This was another 5-star classic between these two.
Okay.
I mean, it had the feel of Edge and Randy Orton from WrestleMania. It had that kind of a feel. I mean, fighting all over the place. I mean, the storytelling was absolutely spot on. I mean, the rivalry of these two is the greatest feud in NXT history. I mean, everything about this, makes us want more, even though we're not going to get more because of the edict that Hunter laid down. But still, I mean, watching this back, I mean, just what else is there to say? I mean, they nailed everything, and it looked like Candice was, being that innocent girl, who was hoping for this all to end, and then the heel turn that was absolutely brilliant. So maybe that could result in a double turn. Maybe that could result in a heel turn for LeRae. Maybe I think they're gonna turn Io Shirai babyface for that feud against Charlotte. That wouldn't surprise me. That's what they should do. The fans love her too damn much. So that's all I know. And yeah, these two just do what they do best. They go out there, they tell a story, and they're two guys who literally wanted to destroy each other, and that's exactly what they did here in this one. So, I mean, Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux, oh yeah, that could be something fun. So we'll have to wait and see. But for right now, another 5-star classic with these two. They stole the damn show. I mean, I had it as 5 going in. I'm not at all surprised. So, well done, guys. Now let's move on. And move on, MF.
All right, well, that's it. That's the end of it. So just give me a final thought. And Anthony, you get, well, actually, no, let me lead off on this. I thought this was a great show. Obviously, the fight of the night were the main event, Ciampa and Gargano. And you also could give a lot of love and a lot of respect to the women's ladder match. You got 2 solid fights right then and there. I mean, it literally made the show go so fast. I mean, especially the main event was just so damn good. I don't think you can even do any better than that. So I really got nothing more to say. And Anthony, it's yours.
Well, I'm not going to give it a rating here. But like MF said, I mean, Ciampa and Gargano, they stole the damn show again. What else is new? Even Johnny Gargano even said he was glad that this match was on NXT and not WrestleMania. I mean, I'll give him that, absolutely. And the women's ladder match was fun, like I knew it would be. Io Shirai, not a big surprise there. Like I said, I think with Candice turning heel, I think they should turn Io face and have her be the face in that feud against Charlotte, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think. And yeah, it may not have been the best show, but those 2 matches, I mean, those were the 2 matches that they hyped. They both delivered, or in Ciampa and Gargano's case, over-delivered again. And the women, they delivered as well. And yeah, there was a couple of filler stuff in there, which took it away. So if I were to put a rating on it, I would give it about 7.5. So that's really all I can say on that. I got to give the edge to AEW this evening. So really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, your final thought, and then let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I mean, everything, I thought it was a good show. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, with obviously the ladder match certainly delivered, and then of course the main event really delivered again. But yeah, I think now because of Candice LeRae turning heel, I think Io Shirai should be a babyface, especially with her future bout against Charlotte Flair for the NXT women's titles. So yeah, what happens next now will only time will tell. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's time to wrap it up and find out what's on tap for Friday.
Yeah, well, what's on tap for Friday is basically, what we're going to have is, of course, we're going to do it's going to be SmackDown Live. So we got first, yes, Anthony has alluded to it. There is going to be a promo by the new Universal Champion Braun Strowman. And believe it or not, guys, the Kairi Sane and Asuka has instituted their rematch clause. That's right, guys. That means we will have a SmackDown Women title rematch on SmackDown as the new champions. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross will have to put their titles on the line right away against Kairi Sane and Asuka. The Kabuki Warriors will get another opportunity at the title, and then for a special treat for all you fans who may not have gotten a chance to see WrestleMania, a very special match as it was as it's going to be a very special match for WrestleMania, as you're going to get to see the Firefly Funhouse match. Bray Wyatt versus John Cena from WrestleMania on Friday night. So, very special. Nothing more to say. Guys, I'll be at 10:30 Eastern, and that's it, guys. So, for Anthony Floyo, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody, and so long.